Hello, welcome to Mary's Monday Musings. We'll wait a couple minutes to let folks get online. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm in a new setting, so I'm hoping that this is all going to work out. Hoping I don't lose my signal. If I do, we'll just hop right back on. Hi, Deidre. Thank you for joining. I'm in my new space. Not my new, my refurbished space. Hi, Christy. So I'm realizing I have an issue with the lights. So we'll just have to figure it out. But it feels good to be back out here. And I have something rigged up. And I'm going to need to get a booster for my Wi-Fi. Because we have a different setup than we did when I was out here all the time. But that's okay. I'm excited to be here. Hope you all have had a good Monday. From Facebook, it looks like it's been pretty good. Hi, Cynthia. Did you all see the sign that I had on there at first? Or was that before it actually went live? Let me know if you saw that and if you think that's a good idea to do. My daughter suggested I might want to start doing that. So down the line, if somebody just saw me talking, they wouldn't think, as she put it, it was some random woman getting on there just talking for no reason. Oh, good. You were nice and warm. Yeah, it was really warm here, Deidre. It was a gorgeous day. We're still at the bipolar stage here in Richmond, though, because it was really cold a couple days ago. Okay, that's fine, Christy. Thank you so much, though, for letting me know. I appreciate it. I'm going to wait another minute or so. And I'm excited to talk about personal mission statements. Do you all have a mission statement? Did you ever think about getting one? Oh, me neither. Well, I mean, I kind of do have one. I wrote one a while ago. A friend helped me write one. When I published my book, we figured I needed something. 2012. Yeah, it's been a while for me too, so I was kind of glad to revisit this. Glad to revisit it. So, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. A couple more people will probably join us in a bit. I don't want to wait, forever to get started because I want to respect people's time. So anyway, when I was doing some research about this, I found a site called fastcompany.com. Oh, thanks, Deidre, for sharing. I appreciate it. And so a lot of the information that I used as my basis for tonight was from them. And they started out talking about Stephen Covey, who everybody knows. And when he wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, he suggested as one of his steps that people develop a personal mission statement. Hey, Jill. And his advice was to begin with the end in mind. And that makes sense to me in a way because, otherwise we're so scattered. If we don't have what our end result is, and we don't know if we're stepping toward it. But we'll go through this a little bit, and you all can tell me what you think. William Arruda is a personal branding expert, and he says that if you want to be successful, you need to think of yourself as a personal brand. And that doesn't just apply to business people. That was probably his context. But really, all of us, have a brand. We all, whoever we represent ourselves to the world, that's our brand. And so we want to make sure that what we're representing truly shows who we are and what we stand for. So it's important to have that. Hi, Jim. Thanks for sharing. So he said that we all have superpowers, and I really like that, and that's kind of where I got the idea for the capes and everything, for the graphic. He said these are things that we do better than anyone else. And he adds that, you know, sometimes it's a good idea to ask someone else what they think your talents are, because a lot of times, I think it was Dan Shanker posted something about that, something about the talents that we see the least are our own, or something along that line. So I think that's true a lot of times. Things we just take for granted about ourselves, other people consider really special or really amazing. So it's good to get feedback. And so the talents that we need to talk about, yeah, I saw that. That's great. It was great conversation, I think, Deidre. So these are often the things that feel natural to us, but it's important to see them as being special. And there seems to kind of be a trend today about that too, that a lot of times we don't see ourselves or what we do or what we're able to accomplish as anything special. So he says that there's 3 parts to the formula, 3 elements on developing this mission statement. The first is the value that you create. The second is who you're creating it for. And the third one is the expected outcome. So that it just sounds so much like a lot of what we're doing in a lot of the coaching sessions that some of us are in. So I thought that was kind of interesting. For instance, so he gives an example. I use my passion and expertise in technology to inspire researchers to create drugs and cure rare diseases. Wow, that's quite a statement, isn't it? So anyway, he also says the other thing, but that's an example, and I'll give you a few others in a minute that are a little not so scientific, I guess you would say, regular people. He says that we also have to have our mission statement change periodically, otherwise it won't be relevant anymore. So that makes sense. So Deidre, maybe since you and I haven't refreshed our mission statements in a while, maybe this would be a good time to revisit it. And maybe it still applies, but it definitely might be a good time to look at it. So he also comments that, you know, your mission statement is for yourself, but it's also a good idea to share it for accountability, but also for help with our friends. When we start to veer off track, they can maybe help redirect us, help us say, wait a minute, is that in keeping with that? But also just to support us as we pursue live into our mission statement and live according to it. So there were 5 people, prominent people that he used as his example for mission statements, and I'll just share a couple of those. Denise Morrison is the CEO of Campbell's Soup Company, and hers is to serve as a leader, live a balanced life, and apply ethical principles to make a significant difference. So that's pretty good. It's generic enough that I think, you know, something like that could apply to just about anybody. But those definitely have the 3 elements that we just talked about. And hi, Stacy. Thanks for hopping on. Joel Manby, who's the CEO of Hershend Family Entertainment. I'd not heard of that. But his mission statement says that I define personal success as being consistent to my own personal mission statement, to love God and love others. And, you know, there really isn't any better way to live than that. And that's very broad, and yet it can also be very specific, because that can inform every decision we make in our lives. And that's a pretty good standard to hold ourselves to, I think. And Oprah Winfrey, she wanted to be a teacher. So her mission statement is to be known for inspiring my students to be more than they thought they could be. And she said that she never imagined that she'd be on TV, but she certainly has a really broad-reaching impact by having the audience that she does. And she's really a story of inspiration. So she lived her mission statement and continues to inspire a lot of people. My favorite one, only because it was someone I had not heard of, Amanda Steinberg, founder of dailyworth.com, said hers is to use my gifts of intelligent charisma and serial optimism to cultivate the self-worth and net worth of women around the world. Wow. I really like her, and I really want to research her, and I definitely want to visit this dailyworth.com and get some more information about that, because it sounds pretty amazing. So real quick, let's hop on to how do we develop a mission statement. There are 4 steps that you can make as complicated and laborious as you want, or that you can spend some thoughtful time over a period of time. The first one is to identify some past successes. The reason for that, they can be personal or professional. And so we want to start with successes usually indicate an area that we have abilities and talents in. So that's a good place to start. And then once we develop this list of successes, maybe look for a recurring theme, because that might give us some hints to a pattern in our life, and it might give us a hint as to what some of our strengths are. And then we need to identify our core values. So we need to develop the list that's going to be an outline of our attributes and identifies who we are as well as our priorities. So again, it's we put all the little pieces in place, and then when we put them all together, hopefully we'll be coming up with some kind of a framework. The third thing is to identify your contributions, to make a list of the ways that you feel you could make a difference. It's like, how do you believe you could contribute to the world, to your community, to your friends? So seeing your contributions detailed can help you better understand the ways that you'd like to make a difference. Again, to look for, oh, sorry, the connection's not working well. Okay, well, it might be on my end too, Glenda. But yeah, please do hop on and catch the replay. I appreciate you hopping on, and thanks for letting me know that. Then the final thing is to identify your goals, and you need to consider your priorities in life and the goals you have for yourself. And that's including short-term and long-term goals. So once we do all this, we can start shuffling the pieces around, seeing some patterns, and then start coming up with a reasonable version of a mission statement. And just to let you know, I'm going to drop a couple of links at the end. I'll drop them in the description. One of them is on goal setting for mission statements, and then the other one is creating personal mission statements. They give you kind of step-by-step guide, kind of a couple of different templates that I liked. So then after you get all 4 of these pieces, you're ready to write your mission statement. Like I said, I needed to do one when I published my book, and one of my friends who, journalism and marketing major, helped me come up with it. She knew me very well, and she knew my heart. And this is what we came up with, and I was really glad to revisit it because it still holds true. And I was really glad to know that I have pretty much, even on accident, stayed pretty true to it. So mine is that I believe that each person is uniquely and divinely designed for a specific purpose on this earth. I'm called to create opportunities where people can experience how their stories interconnect with God's story. My desire is to encourage, support, and uplift others on their journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and their pursuit of their own divine purpose. So I think, through when I wrote my book, that was my goal. Just deciding to do these Monday night lives. I didn't know that it was going to end up being a pattern, that it was going to end up being an every Monday night thing, that I was hoping to minister to people by doing them. So that was, I guess it wasn't happenstance. It was out of the natural flowing out of what my heart's desire is to minister to the world. So I was really glad to know that. So I really encourage you, if you don't have one, to start thinking about one. And again, with the end in mind, it's kind of like when you decide, this is my dream. Some of us have been doing a lot of work on that. This is my dream. These are the goals. These are the steps that I want to take to get to them. So you start at the beginning with the end in mind, if that makes any sense. I hope that that this is something that will be useful for you. I think for me, I'm going to be really more conscious of it. It makes it easier to set your priorities, to make decisions about, I will do this, I won't do that. And it's not that one thing is bad and one thing is good. It's that one is better based on what your mission is. And keeping that mission statement in front of you at all times helps you be really cognizant and really intentional about how you spend your time and your resources when you're ministering to the world. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for hopping on. We're just about finished, but I'm glad you hopped on. We're talking about personal mission statements. So, why is it important? I kind of touched on that it integrates who you are. It provides us a focus, kind of a framework for our lives. It simplifies decision-making process, and it holds us accountable for our decisions and our actions. Oops, got low battery. Good thing I'm almost done here. So I really do, like I said, I encourage you, without repeating myself 100 times, to develop a mission statement for yourself. Get some of your family or friends or people who know you the best to maybe help you fine-tune it. And then write it down, keep it in front of you, and start applying it to some of the decisions that you make. Listen, I'm not going to keep you really late. I just thought this was a fascinating topic, and one that I think all of us can benefit from. Good, Deidre. Yeah, I'm going to revisit mine and see how I can kind of tweak it too. So I hope everyone had a good Monday. And I hope you have a great rest of the night. Go out and have a great week. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to share this with anybody that you think could benefit. And I will talk to you next week.